Here we are given a polar equation. We need to draw the graph of this. R is equal to 1 plus cosine theta. One simple way of doing that is you draw a table of values, give some theta values and find R from here. Let's say theta is 0. So 1 plus cosine 0 is 2. So for theta 0. Now the polar equation graphs are usually drawn on the polar grid. So this is my polar grid. Here, when theta is 0 is this line, right? On that line, R value is 2. That means you need to go to the second circle. Okay. When theta is pi by 6, this is 1 plus cosine pi by 6. That has to be, you can write it as 1 plus cosine pi by 6 is root 3 by 2. Or you can also just calculating from the calculator. Pi by 6, that's 1.866 something. Let's also find at pi by 3. 1 plus cosine pi by 3. Cosine pi by 3 is half, so that is going to be 3 by 2. At pi by 4, 1 plus cosine pi by 4 is 1 plus root 2 by 2, or you can use your calculator to get it. That's 1.707. Pi by 2, 1 plus cosine pi by 2. Cosine pi by 2 is 0. So that's just 1. 2 pi by 3. Let's try 1 plus cosine 2 pi by 3. Cosine 2 pi by 3 is negative half, so that will be half. Let's try 5 pi by 6. 1 plus cosine 5 pi by 6 would be 1 minus root 3 by 2. You can also use calculator to find that. That's going to be 0.133. Lastly, pi. 1 plus cosine pi. Cosine pi is negative 1. That's going to be 0. So let's plot these points on the polar grid. We already did the first one. The second one, on the pi by 6 line, we have 1.866. 1.866 is a little lower than 2. So your point would be here. For pi by 3, we have 3 by 2. So 1.5. So a little less than, obviously, 1.866. Pi by 4, it's in between these two values. At pi by 2, it's 1. At 2 pi by 3, it is half. So 2 pi by 3 line, half. 5 pi by 6, very close to 0. And at pi, it is actually 0. So if I draw a line through them, I get this shape. Okay. I only drew it from 0 to pi. Why? I'm going to show you here to check symmetry. For symmetry, if I have a polar curve and I change theta to negative theta, let's try that. 1 plus cosine, in place of theta, I write negative theta. Cosine is an even function, so cosine negative theta is same as cosine theta. We are getting same exact equation even after changing theta to negative theta. Therefore, this curve is symmetric with respect to, either you can write x-axis or polar axis. They are both same, horizontal axis basically. Okay, that means the graph has to look exactly same on the lower end of that, right? So I don't need to plot more points. I can just, it's not very symmetric, but it has to be exactly symmetric to the top. This shape is a special shape. It's called cardioid. Okay, I want to show you how to plot this on your calculator. So if you want to confirm the graph on your calculator, what you can do is on your mod, you go down to the list of the functions and go to polar. Once you hit the polar, you hit y equal to, and you write 1 plus cosine theta here. And if you graph now, you can zoom in a little bit. That's going to give you a polar equation. Okay. You can always find the table of values and trace them. But this is your basic graph. You can always check using calculator that you got a correct graph.